Let me unmute myself, family. Good morning, good morning to the family that done tapped in. Yogi G, what it do? What it do? No games, what it do? Good morning, good morning. Terry Nixon in the building. Good morning, good morning. My bad, Terry. Good morning, beloved. The lovely Deborah Luna then tapped in. Good morning, good morning. Asaya Quill, aka Mama Quill in the building. How you doing? Angela Lynette, great morning to you. Great morning, Dr. Cami. We have a real doctor in the building. Good morning. And it ain't because of likability, you heard. Wanda Smith, good morning. Good morning. Jaja Boy, top of the morning to you. Bonnie Vanner, thank you for tapping in from New Orleans. Buddha Nick, what it do, good brother? Thank you for tapping in. Tasha Lynn, great morning to you. Great morning. The lovely Carolyn Hendricks is in the building. I'm waiting on my family to tap in. You know, where my Gaddis clan at? Where my down south family at? My Mississippi family, my Georgia family. Y'all hit that like button too as you coming in. And like, share, and subscribe. It ain't nothing to it but to do what you heard. I ain't going. Thank you for tapping in, beloved. Thank you for tapping in. And it is hump day, family. You know, it'd be hard when you first get in there that Monday and that Tuesday, you be like, oh my God. What's up, my fellow 740? And thank you for tapping in. Great morning to you, beloved. Great morning to you. Y'all see, I don't know what Anna then put up here, and she's just putting so different things. But great morning to everybody. L the Golden Child Sharp, great morning. You trying to start, that's what I'm saying. My Georgia people tapping in, my New Orleans tapped in. I'm waiting on my Florida people. I'm waiting on my Mississippi people. I'm waiting on my Georgia people. Yeah, I'm waiting on my Tennessee family. I'm waiting on you. I'm waiting on the St. Louis family to tap in. I'm waiting on them, you know. I'm waiting on y'all to come on in. Anything bottom from the bottom of the Mason Dixie line, you heard. Jimmy, it's that East Coast brother that tapped in from Boston, that is. How y'all doing this great morning, man? How y'all doing? How you doing? I had to bring Honest on this morning. As you can see, she's riding them streets of DC again. I don't know how you plan on doing this interview again. Mm. Let me see who all. DeBoer, thank you for tapping in. That's that Detroit love. You heard. Meat Freak, okay, now he's coming from Palaca. I don't know what they do. I think they shadow banning us right now. They feel like old 810 trying to figure it out. I see KC done tapped in. Great morning, great morning. Concrete Jungle in the building. Thank you for tapping in, fam. Let me see what the lovely Deborah Luna said. I'm going to drive to State Street and think I've been around the nation, not around the East Side. Facts. I didn't know we had a New York Street on the East Side until I rode by it. I might have rode by it 1,000 times and didn't know we had a street called New York on the East Side. I've been down on Minnesota, Nebraska. Miss Kariza Smith in the building. Good morning. I know it ain't no council today or nothing, so family, it's no council today. But I got some stuff I've been going through. Let me get up here. Anna, what you got to say to the family? You know, Anna part of one half of just a thought.
I ain't half of nothing. I'm a whole person.
You one half of just a thought. One half of just a
um,
thought.
I'm being funny. Um,
Yeah, I know.
no, I'm just trying to hurry up and find me somewhere to pull over because the traffic is always crazy in DC. You would think that the federal government was shut down, we wouldn't be having these traffic. We still got traffic because the reality is there's a lot of jobs in DC, and not everybody does the same thing. These streets be packed. I don't know how the traffic is in Flint. Y'all have traffic?
Yeah, we had traffic. It depends on what side you want. Depends on what you want.
I forgot that hot. Is it the highway that I came in when I come into Flint? That's like stop, go, stop, go. Trucks
Uh,
be trying to wear you off the little
uh,
bumpy roads. You hear me?
Yeah, I'm listening to you. I'm listening to you. I was looking at something. Let me find this right here. I wanted to see what was your take on this right here. What was your take on this? I was gonna get your
Let me
take on
put my
this.
second pair of glasses on.
I had to find some. I got to, because I be on the internet. Let me see who all done tapped in. Andre Holland, thank you for tapping in. Thank you, thank you, thank you, good brother. Then we got Lummy is in the building, South Florida, Broward County checking in 954 at your door. You heard. And we got the lovely Lenore Seal in the building. Good morning, beloved. Thank you for tapping in. Abundant Faith, you know I ain't gonna forget you. Thank you for tapping in. Surtha is in the building. Henderson, that is. Thank you for tapping in, beloved. Because you seem like you watch sports, right?
Who? You talking to me? Of course I
No, I'm
watch
talking to the
sports.
other person that's on the other side of the screen.
No, you
Yes,
talk.
you
Look, we
do.
talk about. Yes, I love sports. Now, am I well versed in sports? I would never say that. Some people try to say they're well versed in sports and be lying.
Coretta H, good morning. Thank you for tapping in. No, what I was gonna play was, and like tell them, yo, y'all smash that like button. Them views ain't matching them likes right now. Come on, work with old Otis this morning. You heard? What I was gonna say was, sometimes you gotta hit it yourself. Um, Salty Chef, what it do, good brother? Thank you for tapping in. That's my cousin from Saskatchewan, Canada, in the building. Then we got the Michelle Smith, aka and her husband. Thank y'all, the beloved couple, for tapping in. Then you see I got Felicia Martinez coming in from New Jersey. That's that East Coast love. I'm telling you, they love us on the East Coast. You see, I know you hit the Stephen A. Smith, right?
Oh Lord,
Wake up.
Stephen A. Smith needs help.
Okay, now we on it. Now you done woke up. You done came out the love. Whatever got your mind out there, now we here. You didn't come back to planet Earth, Anna. Come out of space. Come on back down to Earth. Sarah,
Stephen
Simple
Smith.
Sammy 3 in the building. Good morning. Thank you for tapping in, Sarah P. And we got Cassandra Scott. Good morning. Okay, let me get back to Stephen H. I gotta say what's up to the family when they coming in, Anna. That's what I do. That's what I do. They ain't never late. I'm late with saying their names because they always on time. But did you see? Well, I think it was. You see, he had made a comment about Serena, right?
I did see that comment. I saw the comment with him talking about Jasmine.
Well, you know what? Right now, he in fire right now because I know a lot of people might don't like. I would have put up the Corey Holcomb with Corey Holcomb. I
Corey's
said
trip.
his comment on him because I was watching this show. Miss Odie, thank you for tapping in, beloved.
D.L. Hewley was talking about him too, but D.L. Hewley, supposedly they're friends, but D.L. Hewley told him, he said, I know we're friends, but I'm always going to hold you accountable to what you say. And I don't know if he's being told to start attacking black women, but this is what it's starting to sound like.
Okay, because this is the point I wanted to show because I got a clipping though. I'm just gonna see what did you feel about it because this what happened the other day. I was gonna get it and we was gonna play it and talk about it. But hold on, let me get this together. Let me play this and I want to see. Lydia McNeely, thank you for tapping in, beloved, on this Wednesday, Hump Wednesday. You heard Javier Jones, thank you for tapping in. Thank you for tapping in. Let me get to this.
Also, too, Stephen A. Smith, I think you had some marriage advice for me. Is that right? Or
well, you know what? Listen, I did it. People, headlines are headlines. We can get into that another time. But I
was hoping you were going to be here.
I'm not. Oh no, I am not qualified. Married? Right. Oh no, not me. Well, I ain't qualified, my brother. I'm not qualified.
I was going to ask because you hadn't been married before, right?
I am married.
No, she hasn't. Okay. Yeah, because I give advice to plenty of founders who want to build billion-dollar companies, and the reason I do that is because I build billion-dollar companies.
Yeah.
So I generally try to stay in my lane as advice.
Then we'll talk marriage advice later. I'm 13 years strong. We got you. Alexis, thank you so much. Athlos NYC 2-night event in New York. Incredible. Can't wait to watch. I'm looking for a Tiffany's crown. Appreciate you, Alexis.
Appreciate you.
Honest.
You're going to have to give me more content to that.
No, because he was talking about when Serena was doing, it was at the Kendrick Lamar show. She was crip walking up there.
Yeah, I remember when
he made a comment about her. But the thing is, you see how when he was getting called out, you see he didn't have that same attitude with her husband, which, you know what I'm saying, like he might have with a brother.
Yeah.
See, you see how my man, to me, he was like he shunned him, and the lady really saved him. When, you know what I'm saying, because you know, and Stephen A. wasn't in there that day. You know what I'm saying? He probably knew her husband was coming. Hold up. Oh, let me see. Hold up. Kenneth just tapped in. What's up, Kenneth? Thank you for tapping in. Javier Jones coming in from Durham, North Carolina, and we got Pastor Nicholas J. Gaddis. Get my Gaddis clan up in here. Did I shout out H. Spragg? I got to shout him out again. H. Spragg, what it do? And then I got to get to Felicia Martinez, because, you know, I got to see who's sponsoring this show this morning. So Mickey's Roll Call is sponsored by Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Neum for making a video to be aired in airports blaming the Dems for the shutdown. Can you say the level of pettiness? They didn't think this was going to happen. And shout out and thank you, Felicia Martinez with Mickey's Roll Call. That's the sister from New Jersey. Then we got Sidney Green Sr. tapping in from Dallas, Texas is in the building. Then we got Sexy Chocolate and tapped in. Latrice Green, thank you for tapping in, beloved. Big Mama Gaddis in the building, Chicago, Illinois. Barb Harrington, thank you for tapping in, beloved. And then we got Michael Cooley, good morning, Greenwood, Mississippi, 662, point of order. Keep pressure on Davina, diabolical. Crazy work how she whipping on the city, though. Mr. Thomas, you in the building. Thank you for tapping in. The lovely Eartha Logan. I see y'all. I see what y'all saying. Tasha Lynn said it's like Stephen backtracked. I don't blame Serena husband for defending his facts. Mr. Thomas said the raccoon knew he couldn't talk crazy to that. Facts, he couldn't. Facts. No, it's a pleasure for you taking your time out to putting that together for me, Felicia. Pop Gaddis and tapped in. You know they love us in the Windy City. The Shy and Lanita Murray, thank you for tapping in. No, the point that I'm making, because look how he attacked Jasmine Crockett.
Yes.
To me, it's like he got it, but you know what I'm saying? He got a way of going that. And I remember a lot of people was going at Corey because, you know, Corey Holcomb took a picture. But as I was watching the show, he was like, he called his friend up, Lawrence Allen, thank you for tapping in. Thank you. Hit the like button as you coming in, family. And the reason I'm playing that is like he be having all this smoke for the brother. I even go back to Big Dog Glenn Robinson. When him and Glenn Robinson was going back and forth. But it just seemed like he always, even when Jerry Jones step out of bounds, he don't seem to go take that same attitude that he have with the brothers. Oh, you going at the sisters like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Now, when he challenged you, telling you, oh, because I make billionaires, you know what I'm saying? He let him know he had more money than him. Because I think her husband is part of Reddit, right? He the owner of Reddit, right?
I think so.
Same thing. Let me get here with Jaja Boy. Top of the morning to you, good brother. He defended Dana White when he punched his wife.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like
y'all be paying attention to this idiot. I know.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead. I'm just saying, y'all be remembering some stuff about him. The last thing I remember was the Jasmine Crockett thing he did, which I was not shocked. And then prior to that, he never holds accountability when anyone in the news is putting down any of those cases where those football players have been killed in situations in schools or when that boy was hung. Don't never bring any kind of advocacy to that. Even with name and likeness, he doesn't bring any kind of advocacy. And sometimes I really think part of their views and their things to go up, I think it is to start talking about making us talk about ourselves in an area, a public arena for other people that don't look like us to laugh. And that's how those ratings go up.
But is it wrong because he playing the money game? Who pays you? What's up, Otis Johnson in the building? Good morning, good brother.
Sure, he might be getting a script already written for him.
Because look, remember when him and Max Kellerby fell out? it was no way ESPN would have got rid of him, Max Kellerby, for him.
Yep.
Let's be honest.
Yep.
And then when you go in and see, like to me, it's like, and because like he just did a rebuttal. He just came out because people been going at him. But it's like, to me, with Stephen A, is like, if you go see with him, he flaunts like the token one. You know how they make you the token one? Because when Skip Bayless left, he really running ESPN. You know what I'm saying? He got more pull because he gonna do the things that probably other people might not do. You know what I'm saying? Because he gonna go, like I say, with the brothers. He go hard. He'll try to say, well, I'm trying to protect them on getting their money. But this how you making your money, dogging them out.
That's exactly. You know that's historical. That's historical. You would sell your own out just to make money to keep yourself afloat. And that's that thing we talk about, all the crabs in the bucket, one crab trying to get to the top. But he'll be, now they talk about they don't like no cancel culture no more.
Mm-hmm.
Because they said, oh, those woke people cancel culture.
Right.
But now we're in a space where people just say anything. People want to call people out their names, say, I know you saw the news with Politico, with the crazy comments that they got in some chat, and Politico put it out there with all those racist comments that people were making. And to me, I'm not shocked about that, because there's a lot of people that will sit there and want you to do your show on the basis of what they want to hear. They don't want to hear facts. They want to hear their opinions. And you could really blame that on any group, but with these media groups, especially with these major groups, and he has a platform. That guy, Steven, whatever his damn name is, he has a platform, Mickey.
Yeah, he do.
And his platform is going to tell, it's owned by billionaires, and it's going to be told on what he needs to put out there. And they know that ignorance sells. So put him to say something crazy about his own, because it's going to make two things. It's going to do. It's going to make the views go up, people to pay attention, for us to get to talk about it, and then it's going to make a certain group happy. Yes, we love when they tear each other apart.
But see, it goes back to when I played that video with Muhammad Ali and Sly Stone. And good morning to everybody that's tapping in. I mean, I played it. I had to go back and find it, but it ain't hard to find. But when Ali was trying to tell him, the premise is what I'm saying is, what's up, Blake? You got it. Thank you for everybody that's just tapping in. What he was saying was, we shouldn't be showing out in front of these people. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, what we doing, we showing out in front, because you know what I'm saying? And it's crazy that, because Stephen A. part of the boule at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? You don't get to make no $40 million a year, and you ain't part of it. You know what I'm saying? The elite blacks. And let me see what it said. Good morning. Okay. And so Stephen A., to me, it's like he want to, because he probably looking at Jasmine Crockett. Okay, well, you just coming in, you coming up. He done been here, but she need to focus on her state. Because if you look at it, these people gonna go, to me, and it's just on a larger scale. Connie, thank you for tapping in, beloved. Good morning, everybody that's tapping in. From Erica Gaddis to Allie Nicole Gaddis Rivers and this lovely Sherry Allen. Thank y'all all for tapping in. But see, is it the system that is allowing this to go down where you can buy people off?
Mickey, at this point, with inflation and everything, people are making life decisions on their legacy. And whether it's right or wrong, we in a place where we not all about morals, we all about self. And sometimes the truth is, some people would say, shit, you got to get yours and I got to get mine. And people just keep it going. The reality is that a lot of us have been trained with morals, because some things are trained, and we were raised to believe this is how we do stuff. And sometimes they call that poor people mentality. Always stay behind. You always stay behind while others move forward. But reality is, a lot of the people that are moving, and I know I'm talking in riddles, a lot of people that are moving forward are people that choose to give you pain in order for their gain. And he's on that type of game. make you feel the pain so he could keep gaining. And all he did was just sold himself, because that's all they talk about. Like I told you, that movie Him. They sell themselves for for the fame and glory. But that all comes down, and eventually he will be taken down, and then we'll all be rooting. Why y'all treating that black man like that? And the reality is, we all do it. When I kept saying, when everybody was talking about P. Diddy, and everybody was talking about Bill Cosby, I said, yeah, they do some horrible things, but why do we have to air it? Let them air it. They're the ones giving us the platform. I'm not talking about us independent. I'm talking about the ones with the platforms. You giving them the platform because that's what y'all really want to say. And so what you're starting to see now is that the racist man is starting to show you how he felt the whole time. That's why when people be like, did you see what they said? What you talking about? They've been saying it. Even before that, he got in office. We knew that the way we were informed was going to be changed. He started that when he did his first term, and his second term is just showing us how quick we would sell each other out. I don't know if anyone put anything in the comments.
No. What did he call it? What was he calling it? Fake news.
Fake news. Yeah, alternative facts.
Alternative facts. That's what I meant to say. Now I was just looking at what John Jabor said. He said, there's a clip of Ali and MLK Jr. coming out of a meeting together. And despite the reporter trying to get them to speak negatively about each other, both brothers knew to stay on code. But see, it ain't that. And that's what I want to say. Is it the athletes' fault? Because a lot of them not getting out calling Stephen A. Smith out because they scared. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm looking at. Is they scared because of his platform? Because remember, he got a platform. He got a machine behind him, ESPN. Remember when he was going at Kwame Brown? He had ESPN. Kwame just had his spot. But see, I was one of the people that was laughing. Look how Stephen A. going on this. But it was really the higher ups that allowed him to use their platform to go attack these people. And that's what I'm saying. Why we not looking at these businesses like, damn, this how they really feel about the black athlete, or the, you know what I'm saying, this and that. This how they feel about, because you got to understand, you got to have a yin and a yang.
Mickey, it's okay to be, it's not okay to be anti this or anti that, but you don't see anti-black. Everybody anti. You can't be anti-Asian, anti-Semitic, but there's no anti-black. And some of these people that are anti, they say you're being prejudiced, because we can't be racist. You're being prejudiced. Their platforms put this out, and they're the ones that don't want you to put them out, because we do know a lot of these huge you know what I'm talking about, that we get all these platforms, they owned by minorities too. But they have a platform where you can't say certain things on their thing. But why is it you allowed to talk about black women? Black women are I feel, in my opinion, black women are the most attacked out of everyone else. And that's unfortunate. And I'd like what D.L. Hughley said about Stephen Smith, because, like I told you, they supposed to be friends offline. But what he said out of his mouth was, he held King, whatever his name is, Stephen, to a certain level of saying, before you go after somebody that really cannot do the drastic change that needs in Texas, because she is not a high position like a senator, or she's not making the major decisions in Texas, why don't you look at the people that are making the decisions instead of looking at her? Why are you worried about her talking about the truth? Because that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to shut her up from talking the truth.
Because he got some money. That's like Van Jones.
Yep.
Go back and study who Van Jones was.
Oh yeah.
Van Jones got that $100 million.
He was a number one woke. He was a number one woke. Every time he got on them platforms, now all of a sudden he changed it.
But was he really woke, or was he trying to play the game till he can get in?
No, it's whatever that platform tells them to do, that's what they do. And I like the fact, like, Joy Reid is off of there, Don Lemon. Yeah, you can look at, they got fired, but I guess their independent media is a lot better. They're actually making more money. because they're not controlled on what they gotta say.
But just like go ahead.
No, I'm saying just like we're not controlled. I mean, YouTube might flag, so you can't say this, you can't say that. So we control to a certain extent.
Facts. But see, Anna, a lot of people don't understand because they don't know. My uncle used to tell me this story right here. He used to say, and I remember this. He used to say, listen, it might have been passed down to him. He used to talk about when you see how they have an elephant on a chain for so long, when they a baby, then they put it on the rope. But it's been so used that it had on this chain, not knowing that it's been conditioned that it can't even break this rope that's not even strong as the chain that it had on. And I think sometimes people go with, like, far as you want to do it on your own, they look at, okay, you go to a big corporate like MSNBC, where Joy Reid was at, they giving you $5 million a year. It's easier for you when you already it's guaranteed it's what you're gonna make. You know what I'm saying? Then when you got to get out there, you got to go get them advertisements because they don't be believing in themselves. Like, really, if you pay attention to it, you saw MSNBC then went to fires to streaming now, because it's not, it's not in the money where it once was. But see, they still got the connections. But what people really getting watching their news from is not sitting. They might be sitting in their living room, but I put money there on YouTube or they're on all these different social media platforms. But if you don't believe in yourself and believe you can do this, when it's so easy for me, just think about it. If I'm gonna give you $5 million, how much money I'm really making off of you?
Yep.
See, people don't look at it like that, but they go for the comfortability. Like, all I got to do is show up. Getting out there, hat in the grind, go find your own advertisement. And some people don't know it. Some people are lazy. Some people don't, you know what I'm saying? They don't want to get out there and takes what it is to, you know what I'm saying, to go grind. It's more easier for me to come in. It's already, you know what I'm saying? It's already set up. Look, you're going to pay me, so I'm going to say what you want me to say. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, that's how I feel. What's his name? I used to watch, what is it? National Action. You know who I'm talking about? The guy on MSNBC, Al Sharpton. I used to watch Al Sharpton. I ain't gonna lie to you, and I used to listen to him. But when I see how he just cut, and look, I ain't knocking the man. I'm just saying, I don't follow him anymore because I saw the puppetness too.
I don't know how you followed him from the beginning.
No, well, you gotta look at his history. He did start off. He did start off as an activist, and he did start off with the truth. And so sometimes we fall. That dollar can take over you. And, it's like kryptonite. It's like when Superman, when that guy in the movie, he gets locked into that cage with that guy. They tell him, you're not gonna get your child, that baby, and you gotta, hold Superman down so that he uses his power, and then Superman can't move. And so I feel that's what's going on. They diggling that dollar over his head, and they said, if you don't do what we tell you, we not gonna pay you no more.
Facts. I'm looking at what Concrete Jungle just put in. He said Stephen A. is the highest paid analyst in ESPN history, according to Google. Woo! That should tell you everything about him. Toby be good. You know the rest of the phrase. Facts. Good morning, Constance.
And that also should tell you he gonna fall the hardest.
Yeah, because just think about it. If when he thought he got rid of Max Kellerman, he didn't get rid of Max Kellerman. He thought he did it. The higher ups got rid of Max Kellerman because Max was going against what ESPN was made up on. Cicero, thank you for tapping in. You know what I'm saying? They forgot, like, you can come on and dog a player. This look how they painted the narrative on Terrell Owens.
Yep.
They painted the narrative on Terrell, but see, the thing is, to me, when you playing the money game, if you playing that game, what do you expect to happen? They gotta have somebody, they always have one on their side that's gonna come out and speak for them. Look how he be taking up for Jerry Jones. Stephen A. ain't one time. He ain't gonna disrespect the people who he feel got more than him.
Yep.
Because that's who he feel. He know where his brother get bread at. That's why that man was able to come on that show and tell him, I do this for millionaires and billionaires. when Stephen A. Poser came back on there, oh, you know how you come at the brothers. I would have said, I don't care what you do for millionaires and billionaires. But see, he will have an attitude that, like I said, he had an attitude with us, but he won't have an attitude with them because he know where his butter getting bread at. What's up, Mr. Right. Classic? Thank you for tapping in.
You're right, Mickey. Because I mean, it's the same thing with our jobs. I mean, you look at people that work for Flint, Michigan government, right? Or you look at people that work for DC government.
Right.
It's a bureaucracy when you're sitting there telling people about policies and procedures you don't even agree with.
Right.
I met a lady in Flint, and she worked for the courthouse, and she just retired. I was at the Flint Hotel or the Hilton, and she was sitting at the bar, and I went ahead and asked her to pay for her this stupid car doesn't shut off. Can you hear me?
No, I can hear you.
Okay. So I told anyway, she was sitting at the bar. She had like a military style jacket on. Get away, damn lady. Sorry. People always thinking you about to move. I parked and she can't fit. Oh well. But anyway, she was sitting at the bar, and my spirit said, go ahead and talk to her, right? See who she is, right? Because something about her just gave me this vibe. I can't remember her name, Mickey, but anyway, make a long story short, this lady works for the Flint court, and she just retired. She's related to a person I know in Flint, and they were shocking. They're actually related. But I was telling her, she gave me the vibe of an activist by the way she was sitting. She said, I do a lot of it, but I'm about to retire the Flint courts. And, we had like a deep conversation, and I turned around and said, I'll pay for you. She said, you ain't got to pay. I said, no, I'll pay for your drink, because I said, it's hard when you work for a system that's set up for us to be failed. You know what I mean? For us to fail. But imagine your whole entire life, you sitting there making money off of the back of pain of people, because you got to keep surviving. So it's the same thing. I'm not making excuses for anybody, but everybody that gets on that platform that high, the more money you make, the more shit you take away from someone else. It's the reality. It's the reality we live in. We're put here on earth, right? In my opinion, when I'm reading the word of God, it says that, God gives us God gives us a purpose to be here. And when he no longer needs your, when your cup is full, when you're finished, and God says, you filled, I can't even talk right. You filled whatever it is you were supposed to do. You then leave. But while you're here, you try to make things right. And so what I'm saying, for the ones that look like us, that choose to live a life of corruption, live a life of putting someone else down, all we can do is pray for them. But I'm never a fan. I'll be honest with you. I'm never a fan of us putting down people that look like us on platforms, because that is what the ultimate thing that the enemy wants us to do. And when I call the enemy, I'm talking about racist ass people. They want us to put each other down. And yes, you got people that will sit there and take $1, but the reality is some of us take dollars too. We just taking chump change. He's taking big change. So how do we work together to at least, I heard this. So we got this guy in our area, right? He got all this money because he was close to the mayor, not the mayor we got now. And they call him nepotism, cronyism. And this guy was able to get money to open up a museum, right? A lot of people are not a fan of him in DC, but he was able to do the right thing by getting money because he knew the right people to talk to. But we all knew that there was some backstory and some back keeping money, right? And so a lot of people talk negative about him, and to me, he is a negative person, right? But this one guy said to me, he's another business owner. He said, you know what? Regardless of what he did, but he's at least putting the history forefront for us to see our faces and for our history to stay. However he did it, Now, I don't know, Mickey. We could have argued as a community and say he ain't nothing but a damn thief, and he keep getting these grants because he with his little nonprofit, and he keep making us money. He does some stupid shit, and he does some good shit. So I don't know. Is Steven, whatever his name is, Stephen doing good for his community? Is he taking some of them dollars and putting it for his community, like the local schools, to local universities? Is he donating, or is he just keeping that money for himself?
I mean, I don't know what he might do, but they're gonna, it's tax write-off, so he's gonna probably get something for charity. But is the money hitting the spots to really help the people? That's the real question. Like, is the money hitting the spots, or is it just like the other nonprofit gang? So I'm not mad if people got nonprofits, but is your nonprofit really enriching the people that's around you, as far as what you're saying you're doing it for?
Yep.
Or is it just you enriching yourself? See, that's a lot of the stuff that we're going through. Good morning, everybody that just tapped in. You know what I'm saying? That's what's really hurting us, because, like I say, facts. And I agree with you, Alan. Crooked black politicians are worse than the Triple K. And reason I'm gonna tell you that, because look at the stuff that we got going on. I'm just saying, just look what you got going on right now. Because everything that's happening here is happening in other places.
Yeah.
But it's through the politics. Like I was talking about, with me and Brother Ellie, I was talking about, no, that was me and Uncle Carl, when I was talking about the oligarchs, and we was talking about the aristocrats. Them the ones you seeing, that's really with the beef that you seeing. And when you talk about a person having a vengeance, you don't think, and I was no way trying to, like, you know what I'm saying, I'm putting people off the hook or anything. Trump just felt like everything they did to him, what did you thought? He's human. He's human. What did you thought if you take a shot at the king and you miss, what you thought he was going to do when he got back in office? When you take that,
he's like a toddler. He's like a toddler who lost his little bear while he was walking. It's like, I forgot the guy's name that had the blanket in Charlie Brown. You take that blanket.
Because I hear you echoing in your phone.
Yeah, echoing?
Yeah. No, only thing I was going to say, Shantae Rollins, thank you for tapping in. B. Marie, Allen L. It's Debbie Clark, 1/2 of the Wonder Twins. Thank everybody for tapping in. Sweet Cupcake on break. But this comes from what you thought was going to happen. That's what I didn't understand. They you know what I'm saying, what they were saying. Like, they didn't think he was going to do this when y'all did this, and y'all didn't think he was going to come back. I mean, because we can listen. You can call name and everything. Because look at your girl. I mean, I'm gonna say look at your girl. How you feel about Kamala Harris going on her book tour?
You mean like her writing a book of the last 107 days? You know they all write books. Shit, Obama. How many books Obama wrote?
No, but I'm saying,
I'm not trying to be funny.
Yeah, no, I ain't saying that. But I'm just saying. But you saying how she's speaking out against Joe Biden?
Yeah, but that's okay. They all do that. They all do that when they finally write their truth. Do I agree that they do it after? No. But the reality is they don't expose their truth until the end. That's the same thing with Trump. Remember in his first year, all those people he fired, and they all wrote books. Mm-hmm. Like even that black chick. What's that black chick? The one that I forgot her name. You know what I'm talking about. She wrote a book. I forgot her name.
I know who you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about, right? She was on. I forgot. All I know, she was on a lot of. She was on a show with him. Was it? Yeah, she was on a show with him, and then all of a sudden, he hired her. And matter of fact, it was her and one other person with 2 black people that he hired. Oh, the guy from the same thing we got now. The last time we had Ben Carlson, and she was the other person. And then as soon as they had a falling out, she want to write a book and go on a View and say all this stuff about Trump. That's the same thing with that his attorney. You remember his attorney?
Right.
The one now all over talking about him, and I think he did some time. They all write books. Look, I'm not saying that she shouldn't have wrote the book.
I'm a roaster. There you go.
I'm a roaster.
Thank you, Chad. Thank you.
I'm not saying it's right either way, but what I will say is that sometimes average person doesn't read books and they don't get no information. You sit there and listen to, you can listen to podcasts, but you still need to open a book. That's all we're saying. Did you read this book? Did you read that book? Sometimes you find more in a book than you find more in like a news media, because they ain't giving you all the facts. They give you some things. Now I know on this platform we're not doing this. We're giving our opinions, right? Some things we're giving facts because we're living it, but some things are opinions. But I don't knock her for writing her book, but I do knock. I don't know if you saw it the other day. She was doing her book tour in Chicago. Did you see that?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so she was in Chicago, and she was doing like a show for her book in Chicago, and a lot of people were there, and so there was a group of people from Dearborn, Michigan, that were in the back, Muslim people, and I was shocked because they got up and started taunting her about her and what she did prior to her her not winning, but meaning like they were taunting her about her views or whatever while she was talking in the show. So the they always got hecklers in these shows. So anyway, make a long story short, she got up and said, "I'm not the president of the United States." So sometimes I feel people address things to certain people that are not in charge, just like that's what Stephen did. He wanted to sit there and address Jasmine Crockett. Jasmine Crockett don't have the power. And that's how I feel like those people that were from Dearborn. Now, they weren't black Muslims. They were more of the whiter, Arab-looking ones. They attacked her in the show, and of course they got taken out of there, but she stood up and said, "I'm not the president of the United States, so whatever beef you got." She didn't say those words exactly, but she did say, "I'm not the president." Basically, y'all need to take it back to Trump. Y'all didn't vote her in. These people voted for what they got.
But you got to go with this though. Trump was saying one thing different. Remember when he said he was getting in? So you got to kind of put it in context. Why the Arabs was they was mad because you got to look what was going on in Palestine, and she was not. You know what I'm saying? They wasn't just going there because of that. They were saying how she was with AIPAC. Now we're gonna get off into that. Like Trump did lie to them. Don't get it twisted. Because he came in and said he was going to stop. Now, let's be honest. That's just like what Hakeem Jeffries said. A lot of these, like a lot of them, that's my thing with her, just to go back to Kamala. My thing with her was, and I see what you're saying, B. Marie, but my thing, why I was bringing that up, you want to put this stuff out about Joe Biden, but you knew what Joe Biden was when you first ran against him. Remember when they was in there when she lost? Remember she said he was a racist. All the stuff she said,
but we knew we all knew he was. If people been paying attention,
no, we didn't. Because people didn't. People voted for him because Joe was, Joe Biden. They wanted to go, but Kamala Harris, because she had ambitions. See, people don't want to really speak the truth. She put all that to the side for she can be vice president, and they only put her on that ticket because he was trying to get the black vote. Let's just be honest.
But he said that out of his. What did he say to the black community? I'm the only one you can vote for.
But the thing is, this is what I don't like. Like you say, all them write books. Why you want to write books about the man? You want to say what was going on in them 100 days? You knew you wasn't the pick. They knew he had whatever. If allegedly, if he knew he had early stages of dementia, they knew this. This ain't no new stuff.
Shit, Trump got that shit right now as we speak.
Yeah, but I'm just saying. But they noticed. They knew when Reagan had it. So let's this ain't the first president that they didn't had up in there. That why you think they call a thing called a shadow government? Who really running it? There wouldn't be no such thing as shadow government. We wouldn't even be having these some of these conversations. I get when people saying to go read a book. Yeah, but sometimes people will write a book to how they feel. So let's all the time, because even we go back to what me and Brother Ellie was talking about. Along Came a Pale Horse. William Cooper, I think, wrote it. But people might have forget you was going with everything like these whistleblowers. They just as bad as snitches in my book. Y'all be going along with the BS, and then when the BS, then when you can't get what you want out, and now y'all want to go tell.
But sometimes you
be honest.
But Mickey, I would say in the defense of whistleblowers, not all whistleblowers are telling because they're not getting something. Sometimes, depending on where you work at, there's some consequences like your life. Like your life.
But when
where you could be taken out.
But when you go, the consequences. These things, everybody see. We want to act like it's such not naive going on. When you take money from an individual, what it is. That's just like a person say, I want to hustle. If you get in the streets, you want to sell drugs. It's a possibility you can get caught by the police. And it's a possibility you gonna tell. But people be having in their mind like, no, you don't supposed to tell. You supposed to stand 10 toes down. They finna throw down in 30 years at somebody. And you gonna, and I'm just saying, this is just the foolishness that we'll go with. Like, man, my man gonna stand 10 toes down. And then when you get in there, it hit the fan. That's what I'm saying. Your life.
Mickey, you don't think she was set up for failure? What he should have did was he should have ran and passed the bucket to her. Why would he wait with her to 6 months? Because they already, I believe, and I'm being honest with you, I believe they wanted that plan for the billionaires to go through on both sides, the Dems and the Republican side. And I'm not talking about all Dems. I'm talking about certain Dems.
Right.
And I feel like the only way that was going to work was to sit there and do this what he did. You gonna wait 6 months and then give her 6 months, 107 days. Look up, but I will say this, Mickey, she raised a lot of money. But we're gonna change the subject about Kamala. But with that, you brought it up with that book. That book right there is just her. It's her. Am I saying it right? Autobiography, or her, or not her autobiography? Because it's not about her. Well, it is about her. Yeah. It is about her life. It's
See, I don't know. I'm putting up my fellow 740. She said JD Vance did the same thing, but he put every negative aside he had to say about Trump behind the VP. They all facts, they do it. That's what I'm saying. But when they come out and say, "Oh, this how you really saying," and then back to Kamala was not gonna never win winning that Democratic the primary. Let's be honest.
They don't let no women win.
They gave her. They really, and I think that's what was messed up. If you should have had it, they knew Biden. They should have listened to Biden, but you have to think it was the money people that made him to stop. It was the money people, and I do believe that the Democratic Party blew this. I believe they blew it. And first of all, this is America. They was not going to elect no woman president. If they did not elect Hillary Rodham Clinton, would they make you think they was going to elect Kamala Harris? Let's be honest with that. First of all, what was they going to elect her? See, this is what I think the game that they play on the masses. They thought, because Obama got elected, he was going to be Obama was finna come in and be able to, he paved the way for another black president. Bullshit. You probably won't see another colored president for 500 years. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. They wasn't happy with that. And new one. And that's what I'm saying. If you would have, my bad. If you would have had if they would have read the primary, you would have seen what would have went down.
Yeah.
No, Mr. I'm not saying she don't have the right to give her perspective. I'm gonna be honest with you with that. I just think in the disarray that the Democratic Party they in such disarray. This ain't doing no but fueling more speculation why the Democratic Party is in shambles right now. That's the only thing I'm saying.
Well, I think I was saying that I think, can you hear? I think I was saying that the other day that the Democrats are not as let me just say this, because not all Republicans agree. They're just all following the same rhetoric. But with the Dems, they're not how do you say that? They're not all listening to each other. You got too many extremes on the Dem side. That's why you're starting to get a lot, in my opinion, that's why we're starting to get a lot of what do you call that? A lot of independent people now. Now everybody's starting to say, I'm independent.
I mean, you would too when you seeing how your party really going, because like a lot of some of them videos I had was from Republicans. Like if you look at MTG, and I'm not saying she wrong, you know. I'm not. I mean, well, let me rephrase. I'm not saying I'm with her, but it's starting to affect her bottom line.
Yeah,
she got a business. But my thing is, now you want to speak out, but why you weren't doing this from the beginning? That's my only thing. But that's what I'm saying. People only speak out when it affects their bottom line. They be with all the BS until it affects their bottom line. Then it's a problem.
I just feel that, you know, like what history has told us, that all they did was they were the same people and they split. And some went to this side and some went to that side, but they wanted to make sure that they kept one thing aligned, and that was to make sure that they always kept American soil under their power. And so what's going on now is that they're looking at the numbers. If you go back and you look at Trump's little when Trump had that thing where he was talking to he had them goofy comedians on there calling the island that my family's from. Can you hear me?
I'm listening to you.
So like the island my family's from, Puerto Rico, right? And the comedian said there's a shithole in the middle of the ocean. And if it's a shithole, then you need to blame your white self, because that's American territory. So if it's not doing good, that's a reflection on your ass. That's what I don't understand. Thing with Virgin Islands, Guam. When you hear these people talk, and I'm talking about racist people, I ain't talking about white. I'm talking about racist people. When they talk, they don't never want to take acknowledgement of their ignorance of what their ignorance and what they don't know how to do or take care of. Because the truth is, they rely on people of color to make this country move. There was a joke even on that platform. Of course, you know, they talked about blacks, but he said they were so mad, and their joke, what they were saying was, he said too many Latinos make a lot of kids. That's what's wrong with them. What's wrong is we got Latinos do make a lot of children, and that's a threat to their agenda. That's why their women are not having children. Those racist men are not producing children.
Well,
and why they're not producing children? Because God don't like ugly.
Well, you have to go back to Pat Buchanan. If anybody remember that, he was a congressman. He was in the, I don't know if he was he a senator, was he a representative? I'm not for sure. He wrote a book called Death of the West. You better go back and look at it. He was on MSNBC. See, but people don't want to realize he was in Congress with that type of mind state. See, people don't look at that. You remember Bob Dole. See, people don't understand. See, they you know, people keep thinking like, oh, they look at Strom Thurmond. They look at him like, oh, you know, no, there's plenty more of them in Congress, plenty more of them in the Senate, in the House of Representatives. People, but see, if we had them type of conversations, that's when you get into people don't be like, I don't want to be called, you know, you saying, no, we just speaking facts. Just look at some of the laws that's still on the books. And going back to Puffy, look how they went and pulled a law from the Mann Act. This is what they locked Jack Johnson up on. Some of these laws, they pulling this back from the early 1900s. And and like I say, and you got even some of the Republicans that I'm talking about, not the big wigs. I'm talking about who do podcasts that MGT been going on. They not even agreeing with Trump bringing in the National Guard into Chicago, bringing it into their cities. And I'm with you, Maria Cobb, because said the minister told us a decade ago that America will fall and martial law will be in effect. Because what did they think was going to happen when you played the game? Trump felt like, you know, it's rules, then it's rules for them. They rules. He didn't think that you thought him being an ex-president, they was gonna come in, try to lock him up. The games Biden was playing.
what is that lady? What's her name? The lady. Darn it. The lady from New York, the one he's trying to get locked up for, because she was the one that had supposedly that he tried to say was a witch hunt for him. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about. Facts, new one. Democrats act like Biden was the strong Thurman's protege. They not gonna say nothing. But this the thing: the Democrats was loving Trump before he ran. Lita James, Latia James.
Lita James. There you go. Lita James.
Thank you, chat. And you see what he's saying? Yeah, can he talk about taking the World Cup from Boston and moving in the Olympics from LA? Because this is what. When I played that video where you sing, when you how you doing, Miss Eunice? Thank you for tapping in. But see, this is the stuff that they did, and they didn't think you let him get back in power, and you didn't think Trump was gonna come down raining hell fury.
Shit.
He bringing in people like you can already see the BS that he doing, but because they want to say that the president can do this and that, they'd rather let him tear this thing down than to bring him, you know what I'm saying? Like, where's the mechanisms at? That's what all I've been hollering at. Where has the mechanisms been at where you could have stopped a president for having too much power? Same thing here. You got counsel supposed to be, quote, equal branch, but when you got your whole crew running it and they can push their stuff through, come on now. Well, so what you think was going to happen? You got Stephen Miller coming in. A lot of this stuff, they knew what they was going to do. They knew they was going to do this. So now we here and we all looking like, what the fuck?
Mickey, them people know everything what they were voting for. And even the people that say, I didn't know he was going to do this, I ain't even going to make an excuse for them. If you was following Trump and every one of his, because he still be on campaign mode. That sucker still on campaign mode.
Sound like the mayor.
Always on campaign mode.
But if you see,
he tells everything he's gonna do. Mickey, anyone that voted for him voted for theyself. Mm-hmm. And some didn't recognize that he was talking about them.
Yeah.
So I don't feel sympathy, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't, in my honest opinion, I do not feel sympathy when someone hollers, I voted for him because I thought he was. That man told you he was a racist.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the 80s, he told you he was a racist. In the 90s, he told you he was a racist. In the 2000s, he told you he's a. In the new millennium, he told you he was a racist.
Did you see this from 2016? I just put it up on what Michelle Mayer said. Trump gave that speech in 2016 saying he was the white man's last hope. The population is declining so fast that white people are going to be minority by 2030. What's the name that put that up there though? What's his name? Pat Buchanan. That's why I keep telling people, go look at the book, Death of the West. Then you got new one said Democrats put up people like Obama and Kamala. Neither one were raised by black mothers or in the black community. Funny, Americans has an Asian hate crime bill. I'm just saying, but when you look at stuff like that, it'll make you think. It'll just like, damn. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we wondering why Stephen A. Smith, because don't get it twisted. Stephen A. Smith, he knows sports. He don't know politics. Like, I don't know. He don't know that. Somebody sicked him on her.
Yep.
That wasn't by choice. He went, and then, you know what I'm saying, then he called himself calling out Serena Williams. She's from Compton. She from that area. He don't know. If she knew how to do the dance, she was doing it right. So she must have been around that situation where they was crip walking that. And it just seeing for him to come out like that, and then him going at Jasmine Crockett. But see, what Stephen A. saying is, this is how you got to act if you want to keep getting this bread. That's, to me, that was the signal he was giving out. And seeing him cower down to Serena's husband when he called himself checking him, which he should have did because he was standing up for his wife. That's what, like, it was like, damn, like, wow, this how you gonna bark down to him. But if it was somebody else, he wouldn't have barked. He wouldn't have backed down. And that's just in my humble opinion.
It's just it's horrible because it and I don't mean to knock people that voted for him, but I just gotta be true, and I'm just being truthful. You voted for a man that literally said he wanted to hurt black people, regardless of how you heard it. Whether he didn't say those words the way I'm saying it, you voted for a man that hated a certain group of people, and anyone that looked close to them were a part of that hate too. And people still put that sucker in office. But you just as bad as everything he says. I don't feel sympathy.
But that's the same thing
even when people say fuck around, find out, to the Latino community, the ones that voted for him, when they snatching up their husbands, I didn't get mad because people saying fuck around, find out. I'm like, yes. Stop being stupid and stop being prejudiced. Stop thinking because you closer to a different complexion that they gonna accept you. And I'm talking about the racists. Because we got some good people in all shapes and colors.
Facts. And that's what I need. That's what I need our counterparts to understand. Like, we not talking about, I mean, even for, like, you know what I'm saying, even for our Muslim, you know, as far as the Arab community, because don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. You know what I'm saying? But because I look at it in our neighborhoods, and I'm looking at you selling pork, I'm looking at you selling liquor out these stores. You can't tell me you believe in Allah, because it's the money game. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying. We get caught up. It's the money game thing now. Because Stephen A. got a son and a daughter and family. Do he not supposed to take care of his family? Because he's probably the breadwinner in the family.
Yep.
And that's when we get into it become murky. But I understand. How can you tell somebody what not to do when you finna they can drop you down? Man, I got a video I want to play. I got this out of Detroit. It was with what's his name talking, Kwame Kilpatrick. And this is what I want people to understand, how he got dead. And people, and listen, and I understand him dealing with Trump, but this is what our people couldn't do. Let me put this up. I know you got to dip out, but let me put this up because I do want to have this conversation. And I took this from New Era. I think is that what I got this from? Hold on, right here. This is a good one right here. And it made me think, like, and like I say, the New Era Detroit, go check out their podcast too, because them brothers dope. Let me play this right here.
Trump and and your clemency. How did this happen? Because we know Trump got you out of prison, right? Yes. But how did this play come about for real? Like, because it's crazy to me how people question your support for Donald Trump when he took a pen and gave you back 20 years of a 28-year sentence. Yeah, I do want to, kind of talk about how that even came about, because, a lot of people don't know.
Let me, because I think it's a lot of rumors out there, and I know it's hard for some people to believe anything outside of something, got to be some hookup. I never met Donald Trump. I never was a Republican, so I wasn't on their side. As a matter of fact, my man, what's my man on CNN? Van Jones. I was talking to him in prison. I was talking to him. I said, "Hey, Van, man," because he was getting in the White House to these roundtable discussions. I said, man, get to pray. He said, man, he's a white Republican. He would never why would he give a black Democrat a commutation? I said, because God in it, right? And he was like, oh, it was, so he wouldn't even help me, People say my mama talked to Trump and all that. My mother didn't know Trump, never had a conversation with Trump ever. She talked to Obama, and she asked Obama in the White House with Reverend Brumfield with her from Oak Grove, asked Obama, "Do you see what they're doing to my son?" He said, "I know exactly what they're doing," and walked away from him and left the office and left her standing there. So everybody, Obama, he couldn't do it. Y'all know now the power of the presidency. He did it. He got a transgender army person translator out of there with a 28-year sentence who only did 6.5 years. He gave him a pardon, and then wrote a recommendation that person go to Harvard. Now you got to remember, this is just after January 6th. The country going crazy. The windows busted out. People been peeing all on the House floor. They calling for Trump's resignation. He calls Alice Johnson to the Oval Office to come and talk to her because he's ending his term. He wants to see if there's anything he can help her with. Jared Kushner's in the meeting, White House counsel. She goes and she asked about me. A woman that has never met me before said, God put you on my heart. I couldn't sleep the night before, and I had to say your name. Now listen, now I'm trying to tell y'all what happened. So she asked this man, he asked her, this is the president of the whole United States, saying, what can I do for you? She gives him 2 folders, one for me and one for another person she was advocating for. You can help them with a commutation. Now by that time, Jared Kushner had heard my name from so many different people. Craig DeRoche, I do know him. He was former Speaker of the House here. He had met with Jared Kushner, unbeknownst to me, and asked for some relief for me. Pete Carmanos, I'd known him. He had met with the president, unbeknownst to me, until it was an article in the paper that said that he went to Trump on my behalf. So all of these people were doing this, not talking to me, not working with me, and they were asking that I get some relief, and the sentence was too long. And so I wanted people to understand that I'm not ashamed in who I believe. I need y'all to understand that, because that is how that happened. And so the White House counsel, when Alice says that, says, over my dead body will he get out of there. We don't want him. We don't support him. And she stood over Alice, and Alice stood up. And so they were literally arguing in the office in front of the president, sitting at the Oval Office. And he said, wait a minute, sit down, ladies. And he looked at Alice, and this is what he said. I'm going to help your guy. That was just that. Now, the other person she brought in had life plus 25. The White House counsel didn't have no problem with him. She had a problem with me. And he said, I'm going to help your guy. That was on January 12th, about 7 in the evening. This, if you look at this commutation that I got, it's signed January 13th at 8 something in the morning. So he just kept his word. They left out the office. He kept his word, signed the commutation the next morning. I said, you know, my house is on fire. It was ablaze. This firefighter ran in, dragged me out, dragged my wife out, dragged my kids out. And he took off his mask, and it was Donald Trump. How you think I feel about that, dude? I said, that's what.
Yeah, see.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. Hey, Constance, hey, listen, I hear what you're saying. See, Trump do say what all white people.
Mickey, I'm going to comment in 1 minute. I'm going to log on to this meeting, and then I'm going to comment.
Go ahead. All right, go ahead. Because I see the Trump do what all white people in power do to gain your trust. Don't fall for his and his BS. And yes, say it again, God, not Trump. Facts. I agree with you with that. But what I'm saying is you had Obama in there and he wouldn't do it. This is what I'm saying. Like, you didn't have, like, what was the Congressional Black Caucus at? They know that brother got railroaded. I'm not saying he didn't do no wrong, but he ain't did no wronger than other ones who have done. They will let other people get away with way more than he done and got away with it. I'm just saying, but how they went at him. Look at what our mayor got going on here. And he able to get away with it with no problem. And I'm not saying, but to that man, far as Trump come, listen, he had 28 years. And whoever gonna let, but you see the game. That's what I'm saying. Obama couldn't do it. Obama is always, he was, to me, I'm not saying he didn't do, he had to play the game, but there's a lot of things Obama got in and he got his second term, there's things he could have done. But I also know, too, who running it, and if he would have went off script, he would have got in trouble. But that just show you why Obama walk away. It goes back to this, Maria, and I'm just going to be honest. Probably he walked away, he didn't have a white mother. I mean, he didn't have a black mama. That's why. Let's be honest. He couldn't see that black mama in pain, want her son out. Let's be honest with it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, in everything that he did, I'm not knocking Obama on what it, you know what I'm saying? Because he still had to do what he had to do. He had to play the game. He had to play the game, but I just think people not, you know what I'm saying? Look how he did people up here in Flint. Oh, the drunk did the BS water game. And I'm not saying he ain't do a lot of great things. But he did a lot of great things for America. Like, he wanted to lift everybody. He didn't just try to do something particularly for this, just for the black community. You know what I'm saying? Was John Conyers in there when he was trying to get HR40 passed? Well, if Trump is giving, and I feel you, Alan, if he is giving the money to him, shit, the Democrats should have been did it. Why is they late to the party with it? They should have been jumped on this. That should have been their first thing. Biden should have went in there and commuted them, stuff like that. But see, it's seems to me that what they thinking far behind. So if it did, the blacks did switch to him. If he did do the trick and he did that, you know, more power to him. Because the Democrats, y'all been playing the blacks for so long, you should have been jumped on that. That show you just some of the stupidity, like a lot of the stuff that the Democrats doing, why they in such sad confusion right now. They just automatically think, oh, we got, because they know they didn't have the black vote for damn near 90 years. Let me see what Maria said. She said Kwame was convicted of racketeering, extortion, bribery, and tax evasion for running a criminal enterprise from the mayor's office. Sorry, I would have let him stay in there too. But he did it to his people. And I'm not saying he didn't, but but what about the other ones that done it? He was just the only one, he the only one who did that like that. And I'm not saying, because I'm not from down in the D, I don't know. He might have been worse. I done heard both sides. Some people saying he was good. Some saying, you know, like I said, depending on who you talk to. They might have didn't have a bill for it, but why ain't nobody took it back up, Mr. Thomas, and still keep trying to battle for it? I mean, but look at the people that he did let out. You know, each president, every time they be going out, they be letting certain people out. I'm not saying right or wrong if Kwame, but why they wouldn't do it? Why Biden and then you know what I'm saying, then go for it like that? If you're trying to build your trust back up, but he wouldn't be the first mayor. That's all I'm saying. Look at this mayor here, all the BS he done. And he ain't get jammed up. Who did Kwame piss off for them to come at him? Because I'm saying, like I said, I look at the mayor here, all the stuff he done and he ain't got in trouble. I'm just saying, yeah, but they ain't. But look who letting it go down. Even with Kwame, what did he do that he pissed them off? I mean, who did he piss off? Because that's the question. Who did he piss off? Who did he piss off? Facts. Let me see what Alan said. Alan said Obama was afraid to touch any black issue, even when he did the Supreme Court judges. But then he do a Lena Kagan. He didn't know about the Jackson lady before. He didn't know about no other black judges. I mean, Supreme Court judges. Then none of them come across his mind. But I understand the game. But you gotta sell it. You gotta sell it, and look who you gotta sell it to. Well, they should keep. The only thing I can say is they need to keep fighting for it, even with the Flint water thing. Because when that Good Trouble said he wanted to do it, what happened to it? To me, Mr. Thomas, he maybe wasn't. We don't know. But what I'm saying is, it's so many other ones who did it. I'm not saying that if he you know that he was wrong or not. It just seems strange that we seen other mayors do it and don't nothing happen to them. I get it. They'll lock up the black mayors. They was wrong. Look at Ray Nagin down in Louisiana. But do you think it's only the black mayors that do wrong that got to get locked up? I'm just saying. It's just to me. Well, they say I always thought Kwame didn't give Lansing a cut. But that's what I'm saying. Like, can you imagine just how the people can play these games? Just look what Gretchen Whitmer going through with the thing with the MEDC, that $20 million fiasco. And they showing what people just been doing all type of things. Don't you think he feel like shit? They should go to jail too. They locked me up for playing games. That's where I'm looking at it. Look, the hypocrisy of it. We can point where all these people did crimes, but then when we point out you did crimes, you can't go to jail. Come on, that you know. But this is the way the system is set up. It's for the have and the have-nots. Let me see. I agree. They make an example of the black population. That's all I'm saying. No, they ain't the only ones that are sloppy, Mr. Thomas. I gotta disagree with you with that. They ain't the only ones that's sloppy. It's all about, do you got the complexion for the connection? That's that. They ain't the only ones. We didn't see they didn't have so much stuff on other people, but they ain't not mad at them right now. Hey, Marcus Fielder, facts. It said, don't fall for the 3-car Molly Trump is playing. For the one brother he released from prison, Trump has to reform police profiling, money given to HBCUs, but the public schools in the hood struggle. Facts. But he know the midterms is next year. Trump got to use all this to say, hey, look what I done for you. Because he know the moves that he doing right now is like with this Medicaid thing that's, and you seeing his people finna be hurting. They're not talking about the rural areas and the rural hospitals that's gonna take a major hit during that era. Facts, cuz facts. But why the Democrats ain't jump on this? Just look how they did Ice Cube when he was talking. Well, you can't go meet Trump. You can't go do this and that. You have to deal with whoever you got to do to get the help. But what happened when Biden got in office? Did he come back? What Biden do? You know what he said? Hey, you got to hook up with the Latino community. That's what he said to the blacks. And we took it, soaked it up, and didn't care about it. Now he out. Then you'll see Roland Martin. When y'all had it, y'all could have, woulda, shoulda. That shit been played out. Yeah, but it just shows the game. But they Trump only playing the game. Facts, cuzzo. Trump only playing the game that he know that they allowed them to do. This ain't nothing new that he doing. He got up in there, but he know them the ones who ain't tripping at what he doing. Just look at the tax codes when the Democrats got in. Did they change the Bush tax codes? Because them people is rich. So I'm like I said, we sitting up here praying that we hope that somebody get a heart. And like I say, I'm not saying Kwame, but you would have thought the Democrats would have did. Listen, they was finna down there let Johnny Cole back out, family. And they was finna down there let Johnny Cole back out. But see, these the type of people that they would put back out here. Was he worse than any of these other people that they was down there finna let out? And they act like they didn't want to get Johnny. Like I said, like, come on, family. I'm not saying the man was right or if the man was wrong, but do you think it was justifiable? Because we looking at all the other mayors that's doing stuff, and ain't none of them got jammed up. Yeah, because I'm trying to tell you, it's crazy. I'm just saying, because y'all go watch that interview too, because that was a piece of it that I got. Go watch the whole interview, and you might have, like I said, I ain't saying that the brother did. You know what I'm saying? He ain't did like he seen other people do. Let's be honest. But if you go against the grain, what the problem is. We done seen it here. They'll let you run wild, do everything you want, long as you steady swinging things to him. See, I look at who did he cross that made them want to start uncovering all the stuff that he did. That's all I'm saying. Who did he cross that they came this hard? Like I'm just looking at it like, I just hope they don't try to come for me. I ain't got nothing. But this is the game that when you playing against some well-oiled machine. That's why you seeing people down there at council, you can get whooped on. But Mr. Thomas, they know all of this stuff though. Obama tried, Republicans wouldn't meet, and the Byrd rule applied when the bill expired. But that's what I'm saying. But he had 2 terms. I get it. Maybe the first one you couldn't do nothing because you were still trying to work out the last fella you was replacing. But in your second term, he could have went a little harder. You see Trump writing all type of executive orders and stuff. He writing all. Just look at Snyder. Snyder ain't go to jail, and the whole city was poisoned. And they paid for it. But I'm like I said, didn't nothing happen to them. and people still dying. That's all I was saying, cuz. But like I say, they leaving other people out. If you was gonna do that, what about the stuff Snyder did? What about the Flint water crisis? Why ain't nobody get locked up and do none of that? But it was all right. You can poison a whole city. All of them break laws, Constance. You know what I'm saying? All of them break laws. Like I just said, I'm not saying Trump. See, because what I don't want people to get confused that, let's just say in these next 3 years of Trump out, like then you ain't gonna be no more Trumps coming in office. Hey, and listen, and right, he didn't have the votes. I agree with you with that. He never gonna have none of the votes, to be honest with you, with the makeup of council. Until you can get a little more melanin on that council where you can swing it like 40 to 50%, then we'll see some real change coming on. Longest, I mean, not council, Congress, the House of Representatives and the Senate. Until you start really getting Congress made up of what the makeup of America, then you'll probably get some change. You'll get, but then you're gonna run into some whole other shit then. And let's just be honest, you're gonna run into some whole other shit.
Mickey, I'm back. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm here. I mean, yeah, we can blame it on Attorney General Mr. Thomas, but it's still it's still the FBI friends, brothers, and in-laws. Do you think they was gonna put in another Attorney General that wasn't gonna allegedly? This not Mickey said what was allegedly said that, and I would think it was the former Mayor Karen Weaver when she said when she had went up to Gretchen Whitmer, she seen everybody basically that was in Snyder camp was in her camp. So what you thought they was gonna let somebody come in that was gonna mess them up? That's what I'm saying, cuz. That's what I'm saying. Like the Attorney General, was they not? This was a Democrat, Gretchen Whitmer, getting in that people thought she would have been. And guess who was supporting her? Snyder. They won't listen. That's just like Davina. Anybody thought the mayor was gonna put? We really was fooled. Like Davina was gonna for him to lock them votes in for Davina. That he didn't think Davina was gonna do everything he needed to do. We was the only ones who was believing, thought Davina was a nice person. She a part of the system. And I'm just being honest. When you're a part of the system, you're a part of the system. I was just showing that my thing was, I get it. Why Obama didn't get him out? You being a black man, I'm not saying you would think on a lot of them. Look at some of the ones they letting out that's damn near dying. You know what I'm saying? Man, I just look at
Mickey,
it. What's up?
Mickey, all I wanted to say just real quick.
Come on with it.
And then we go back to that thought before I forget it. Because, you know, I'm in premenopause stage.
TMI.
Yes, too much information.
Facts.
But you need to know.
I didn't, but go ahead.
I will say this. From earlier, when the video you put up, I just needed to make this understanding that most people don't look at. A lot of people give credit to people when God opens a door for you. And what I heard that guy saying was that this person didn't open it, but this person came to me. Sometimes God uses your enemy to open a door for you to get freedom. And so sometimes we give the wrong acknowledgement to the wrong group. And then we want to sit there and justify about putting them in position because they did something for you without acknowledging that there was someone higher than them that opened that door. That's all I wanted to say.
No, but that's the point that I was saying. But why the Democrats wouldn't do it? I mean, even when, like you said, he was talking to Vance Jones. And like, you know what I'm saying? And to me, it was just like, I get it. But it's still, he said it in there. God put it on his heart. That's the only thing I'm just saying. But why Obama didn't go do it? You know what I'm saying? Why Biden didn't go do it? Regardless of what people say Trump did, if he did this to set a play up for the future when he came back and ran again, the Democrats should have did it. That's the only thing I'm saying. Like but see, he thought it was more important to get my man out of jail. What was the one guy that was in the army that did the change, had the see Obama, like that's what I'm saying. Like he felt that was more important than going to get him out of jail. So you will have people like, okay, damn, Obama.
I'm trying to remember. What was he locked up for? What was he locked up for?
Whistleblowing, if I'm not mistaken. But you and when blacks say you did more for the LGBTQIA community, I mean, it's proof is in the pudding.
Yeah, but who leads the LGBTQ community?
But I'm just saying though, but
at the end of the day, it's still a white face.
At the facts, that's what I'm saying. So it's not no like with him. So you can't get mad when people say, okay, this is how they feel with Obama. Like I said, he came up here and drank the water and knew that was BS. And we still got people dying up here from cancer. You got more damn dialysis places popping up left and right. I ain't see this, and I've been in Flint all my life. I ain't see these many dialysis places all of a sudden just popping up. But that's the stuff that we, you know what I'm saying? But it's supposed to be normal for us now. Now we accepting you get cancer, you die. See that this the type, and I don't think cancer was that high.
They try to make it. They try to make excuses. I was watching The View, and they were trying to make excuses for the guy that runs the health, the guy Kennedy, the one that was supposed to be running for president.
Yeah, Robert.
And then I guess when he realized Robert Kennedy. They make excuses for him. They were like, well, do you like the fact that they make you take all these prescriptions and some of that stuff can kill you like other countries? They have all these blocks on stuff, but over here in America, so all we're doing is just allowing people to have a right to not have to take these these vaccines. But what they're not telling you, vaccinations, but what they're not telling you is that they fired over 1,000 doctors and scientists that really had the real data, and they fired them, and now they want to tell you it's like they take the stories of certain groups and they amplify those voices as if that is the voice of America. And the truth be told, measles outbreak is crazy out here. But you sit there telling people when you're pregnant, don't take Tylenol. I don't think that someone who does not have a medical degree, I don't care what position you have.
No, but this is what I don't want to do. I don't want to come in and we just like downplay what Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is saying, because I do believe he got information from different scientists too. So we just can't say, you're gonna take this side, because I want to talk.
That's what I'm saying, but what he was a medical, he was an attorney for a big group that all he did was sue big pharmaceutical companies. Now he's running. Now he's running the department, whatever department he's running. But all I'm saying is, Mickey, human health. All I'm saying is
the HHS department.
Yes, all I'm saying is that they put someone in office in a position that technically they're not qualified to run. They don't have a medical background. So I feel like when he's giving us information, and now the information is being taken from us, now when you go to different websites, because the government is shut down, they got these big posts that say the information might be accurate. Look it up. When you look up Department of Health and Human Services, it says at the top that the information might not be accurately because basically no one is working. But they still making conversation to us.
But answer this question though, Anna. Let's
communication, not conversation. Sorry.
Yeah. I'm not gonna say that, but on some stuff, I do understand. Like some stuff, like I say, go get that book. Like you say, you want to say people need to read. Go get that book, Medical Monopoly, and maybe you'll have a different understanding. It's like people can't keep telling you, like, you know what I'm saying? Because sometimes I think people don't get it twisted. I mean, they hate to face reality on certain things. They give you a pill for this. What I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
The doctors are not there to make you. They're not there to get you healthy, because they wouldn't be taking all this medicine.
No, they want to give you a bunch of different type of medicines. But what I'm saying is, don't make everything scary. Be factual. Tell the facts. Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
But I'm just saying on certain stuff, like now, some of the stuff people might say was spooky. Like when he was saying it's different makeups between blacks and whites, as far as on medicine and stuff. I listen, I could agree with some of that stuff. Maybe what you might have to take might don't be what I need to take on different things. But a lot of the stuff that they was like, some stuff I could agree with on some of the things he was saying. I'm not saying I agree with everything he said, but some stuff you do have to look at what was going on. Like right now, we got to be kind of careful when we talk about the jab.
Yep.
Let's be honest with that. You got to be careful when you talk about the jab because I don't want to get strike down and nothing. But a lot of people jumped up into that. But see, they don't want to talk about some of the complications that came from that. They're not going to talk about none of that. You know what I'm saying? So that's why, because that's big business. Remember how many people, if they didn't get this done, they couldn't work their job? You had Aaron Rodgers. Remember, he said he wasn't taking it. But why you think they try to shut down a lot of the holistic doctors? I'm not saying, but you can't. You got to have your own. But I'm gonna tell you this: people, you keep taking blood pressure medicine so long, won't that wear your kidneys out in time? Keep taking this medicine, that tell you we'll give you a pill for this to help this, but it beat up your liver. Instead of telling the people, listen, you got to change.
I believe you need to. I believe we need to really study agriculture. I don't know if you heard that. That's one thing that we do not have a lot of. I mean, North Carolina A&T.
Oh, you froze up. But at the end of the day, you still can't be like a lot of stuff that might be linked to like high blood pressure. Why would you be eating salt? Why would you be eating pork? Why, when you try to, kind of eat cleaner, when you know it's coming down to health, diabetes? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, some things can be, if we just knew better. How you gonna keep eating pizzas and all this food for 40 years and then give your body a time to, you know what I'm saying? We study putting processed food over and over. You're not giving your stomach time to heal, to let the body flush stuff out. Like me and brother Elliot was talking about, eating one burger is like, it take 3 days to get out your system. But if you eating red meat 5 days a week and you done did this for damn near 20-some years, what do you think gonna happen to your body? It's finally breaking down. But now I gotta take this pill because I want to keep doing this right here. Come on. And I'm not saying he's not qualified, but if you think that man just sat up here and then, I'm just saying, I'm not telling you he qualified. But if you just think and you just saying he just talked to doctors over on this side, I beg to differ. If you don't think he talked to scientists on this side, I'm just saying, I beg to differ. I just know I'm not saying he the best. I'm just saying sometimes you got people that was for it and people that's against it. You know what I'm saying? You got people that's for it and that's against it. I kind of fall on the like I kind of, and I didn't. I'm gonna tell you, we didn't do it, and caught about 3 or 4 times. One, it was looking real dire for my oldest. I thought he wasn't gonna make it. He missed 2 months of school, and I remember having to take him. When I went, and I thought I had broke rib, they was telling me I had an upper respiratory infection. All these antibiotics they had, like I'm telling you. But listen, eating better, working out. While I go work out, some things it's come down to pork. You know what I'm saying? A lot of stuff that we was doing when we was young, you can't do that no more. Like, I don't eat McDonald's. Oh, hey Nicole, facts. It was brother Rizza Islam. Like, they were sitting down. That's why, when I kind of got hip to him, but I knew of him. But when I started seeing them sitting down with Rizza, them, you know what I'm saying, different people talking about the vaccination. That's why I put on the I had played the video with brother Tony Muhammad when he was talking, when he said he wanted to sit down. But see, but we get off into spookism and don't want to sit down and have real that's what I'm saying. I don't believe that man just sat down. He came out and said this on his own. I'm not gonna go with that. Facts. Oh, okay, because you can hear his voice messed up. It said Mr. Kennedy was injured by a vaccine. Can't remember which one. I'm just saying a lot of things we can't be sitting up here. On one minute, you can say the government, they won't play games. But then on another end, they'll play games on this. Come on. Let's cut the crap. Either they playing or they not playing. And then you always got to look at who made money when they pushed it out. How much money was made? That's just my personal opinion. And people can go with how they go with it. That's all. And I'm not saying what it is. I'm just saying. Go ahead.
No. Sorry, my phone went out because of the heat that's out here. It made my phone temperature. The iPhone said, shut down. Well, all I was saying, what I was trying to say is that we have to do better by the way we eat. And then we could avoid a lot of this stuff that we had, because the reality is we're always in fast mode, so we grab things fast. And the reality is people are cutting corners on food. So sometimes we're not getting real meat, real fruits and vegetables, or sometimes they're not even cleaning the vegetables with the pesticide on it.
Right.
But with the government shut down and there's no grant money for these farmers, what are we really eating? So we also got to look at why is in certain countries like China, like even in Europe, you can't have certain things. But right here in America, even Canada is very good about it. But right here in America, they give us everything poison. And the C word is going fast. Everyone is starting to, I don't know about you. Every time I turn around, someone's telling me I just got diagnosed with cancer.
Yeah, I mean, I
so
expect
what are they
this.
giving us?
They've been drinking water.
All I'm saying is,
water here.
all I'm saying is I am not gonna listen to how they gonna preach small government, but they want to tell you what you should and should not take. I think if we eat better, clean. If I could grow my own stuff, I would. But I don't own no property. In DC, it's they could take wherever you live at and say they want to build something like a stadium, and they just take eminent domain.
No, ain't nothing. They did that here. They do wherever they want to take it. They do that wherever. That ain't just strictly for DC. You see how they did when they built the Brooklyn Nets, when they built that what's the name? See how they did the people in Brooklyn. You see how they just did the people when they just built the new stadium down there in Inglewood. The Rams, they wherever they want land, they will take it. That's just a fact. We can't hear you, Anna.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Let me. All right. No, I was saying, and that is my team, LA Rams, and I was like, oh, we're getting a stadium. They're sharing it with the Chargers, but now that I'm here, I live in DC, and I'm seeing how the Commanders are coming. I was at the game. I got to see the Commanders and the Bears play, and the Commanders lost by 1 point. Hilarious. I saw all the Bear fans because they were in front of the stand that I was at. All I'm saying is that entertainment will get more acknowledgement and more money towards it and more recognition to keep moving, because it's like a big coliseum for people to celebrate, but they won't put money in people owning anything. Because I know if you looking around, Trump is like make America great. What I thought make America great was that people own their homes. So where are those purchase programs? They cutting them. You got people's average mortgage over $3,000. Who, Mickey? If we only got 1% of billionaires, and then the next group is the upper middle class, the middle class, the lower middle class, and then the poor. And if you look at it, the last time I looked at it, the poor numbers, in the spectrum of the numbers, that group got bigger.
As it should.
Keep laying people off, keep firing them. Oh, and for anyone affected by the shutdown, if Trump does not pay y'all back, you cannot go to unemployment and say I did not get paid because you didn't file a case. And even though they would have told you, well, you should have filed a case, and you would say, well, I'm a federal worker, we don't open an unemployment case. It's like a catch-22. I'm a federal worker, I can't apply for unemployment because suppose I'm supposed to get paid back. But here it is, when the government opens and that sucker say we not paying the people back, they can't even go back and get some money.
But that show you the type of individual that he is. He got mad and not say he posted. You would be like, go ahead, but I'm not flying nothing until the government open back in. I don't want to take a plane ride. I'll be grounded right here. But that show you the mind state of these people that's controlling what's going on. They didn't, you know what I'm saying? And do I feel like the Democrats taking the fight they should? Yes, because Medicaid, but the people not realizing the rural area gonna get hit hard. They just think because they got people thinking, oh, it's only gonna affect these people over here. No, it's gonna affect y'all too. And look at the farmers. Are they crying now?
Yes, they are.
The black farmers been catching here. The black farmers have been catching hell. Now they catching hell, and now it's a problem. Now look at the look at the tariffs. Look how Trump didn't cut that deal with them overseas. Did you see what BRICS just did? And I might bring that on. I don't know if y'all on Sunday. I probably give you some time. Look what China them just did. They got more people dropping the dollar, bringing more people. Why you think Trump trying to go into the cryptocurrency? Move America to that.
Because he hasn't put it. I thought, well, you saying he's going to try to regulate it. I thought he was trying to get his money first. And then as soon as they get their money, then they're gonna put regulations.
Why you think he doing that? Listen, we $35 trillion in debt. China can easily just, you know what I'm saying? This when you start saying, remember, the dollar was the gold standard right now. Remember, it was everybody was trading in the dollar. When you start seeing these other countries start dumping the dollar, that's like when we was in Iraq, people weren't understanding when they were seeing Saddam Hussein had the hundreds of millions of US dollars, and they just found it right there. He was coming off the dollar. He didn't have to do business with them no more. And I don't think we really be looking at it on that standpoint. Like we sitting up here playing around, worrying about this and that, and not looking at this. So I said I was gonna bring it on for Sunday for Brother Elliot. When they talking about I forgot what show was I on. I was watching, talking about the stock market crash like 1929 is on the horizon. What you think gonna happen then when this thing, if it do like it did in 29? And that ain't nothing but transfer, just to transfer wealth anyway, family. When they did that, it was like it was too many people had money, they wanted to break them, and the super rich, it didn't affect them. Let's just make that up. Don't you think they finna do that again?
But I don't think people understand that certain laws are for certain people. Certain rights for your taxes are for certain people. So I just think that people read and they like, well, I could gain this, I can gain that. These are some good tax. And I'm laughing because we're still under the tax code that Trump put in when he was in office, and it's some shit.
And Biden
but you got, and even when Biden was in office, we were still under Trump's tax, and people blaming Biden. And I'm saying to myself, like, y'all some complete idiots. But then again, they go that famous argument. Why do poor people debate for rich society? Why do we debate? Because we have this illusion that we will be rich one day.
Yeah, because he said if you work hard enough, you're gonna get there. Well, I don't care how hard you
work hard and die. You're gonna work hard and die.
Because just think at the industries. Why you think they was on LeVar Ball? They didn't want Lonzo to have their own shoes. Why you think Kanye, Adidas wanted him to be up under him? Why you think, my man, what's the dude name? Dapper Dan. Don't you know Dapper Dan didn't have to go work for Gucci? The way he was doing stuff, he could open up his own, but he didn't believe in himself to say, you know what I'm saying, people will come to me. He know black people. He know they not going.
No, Mickey, with him, now what the guy that you just said, I'll be jacking his name up.
Dapper Dan from New York.
Dapper Dan. Now, one thing, back when, we used to wear his clothes and it was the knockoff, but I will say this, he was held up and actually the famous Sonia Sotomayor, who was actually SCOTUS, she was the one that was brought to bring him down. They didn't go after anyone else but him and anyone else selling that clothes, because those Louis Vuitton, Gucci people were saying that they were using their products. So it's a federal case on him. Yeah. And all they did, let me tell you, all they did was like, well, we'll bring him down unless he agrees to give us his talent.
And he was a designer.
So basically, all they did was like, we gonna lock you up. This is my opinion. This could be conspiracy. We gonna lock you up. We gonna use the government to make it seem like you're doing something so wrong because you're stealing from these people who steal off the backs of poor people making the clothes. Shit, they stealing even worse because they getting the cheap material from China and selling it to our dumb behinds for more than what it's worth.
So do you understand the game? Why they not gonna because if we let you in, you freeze us out because we.
Yes.
And that's the game. That's
but
why you
all they do is steal talent. and they use the government to regulate you, so then you have to give your creative talent for a little bit of chump change. So when they keep saying work hard, what they trying to say is, and I'm talking about the racists, work hard to make them more money.
For you right here from Mr. Thomas, he said not a conspiracy. That's what happened to Dan, because people were spending money with them. They not gonna let you come in and mess up their stuff.
Yep.
And you see what Alan said. Remember when Hillary asked Trump why he didn't pay his $985 million dollars tax bill? It makes him smart. Because he knew the game.
Well, Trump said it in one of those things. I think Hillary was on the stage, and he said the same people that I work with, the same people they work with. Everybody, you know. People want to throw morals out in election. Where's your morals at? Where's your morals at?
They only want morals during election day. Well, as soon as he get in, the morals is out the way. Oh, he with his family. He got to go kiss babies. He's coming into church. Man, these people don't believe in God. I keep saying, I don't know why I got to keep saying this over and over. They don't believe in God. Look at the rules that they doing. And I'll say it again. It took Congress. I mean, the House of Representatives into the Senate, until that thing become like what they fear in 2030, and we get that this Congress down there like 60% melanin, then and I'm not coons and sambos in that too. They're still gonna be fighting hard. But until you get that makeup changed a little different, don't expect the laws to change. Keep expecting to get these same laws that's on the books. Like I say, they pulled up a law on Puff Daddy from the 1900s. They put on Jack Johnson, and I keep telling people, go back and watch. I can't think of the coach's name. I don't want to mess it up, from Boston, but he back in the league. Who did he sleep when they got rid of him? T.J. Holmes. Why he not CNN no more? Did Mika Brzezinski and Joe Scarborough had to get fired from their job on MSNBC? And both of them was married, had spouses. But TJ Holmes had to, and the lady he was with, they had to come off the show. But they didn't bat an eye when it was Joe Scarborough and Mika Brzezinski. And I'm just saying, it just is what it is. It is what it is. Until we can start accepting
and we gotta be able to be truthful and not sit here and bring up God's name in lies. I mean, that is the thing that hide from. I know you saw yesterday, because yesterday, I posted on my thing. All I did was repost. Ben Crump had put yesterday was God, I forgot the dude's name. Not George Foreman, Jesus. Floyd. Birthday was yesterday. And I just reposted it, and childhood classmate of mine posted on there. Didn't have to say anything, but he just chose to write on my chat and say, he died from drug overdose. And I didn't respond to it. Because we all know he died from, we already know what he died from. But he posted that, he wrote that comment to think that I was going to go after him. And I said this on my page, and I try not to be so political on my Facebook page, but I did say one time, I used to always think race relations were different up north, but I'm starting to see it's not. Basically, people have taken off their hats, their hoods. They have taken them off, and that's fine. Because people used to look at me and be like, why? I said, I'd rather someone tell me they don't like me than be in my face holding hands and singing and wanting to eat from whatever I cook, and really you an enemy. There's nothing wrong with removing people or allowing, if people don't like you because you're darker than them or because you look different, so what? I'm not going to spend my whole life arguing with you because you don't like me. I don't need your exception. I don't need your stance on who I am as a person. Who cares? The older you get, the more you start to realize that. The younger you are, you start looking for likes. You start looking. Some people don't outgrow it. Let me be honest. Some people don't outgrow it, Mickey. But you don't need no one You don't need to force someone to stop being a racist.
I'm not
Cut them out your life.
Yeah,
Cut them out your life.
I'm not stopping you being who you is. It's just to me.
Be who you are, but don't be mad when I'm on a platform talking about your behind and your truth. Don't be mad.
You gotta catch her and Yogi G on Sundays at Just a Thought. You know, they've been helping me out. Like White Winter's been on. You know, she had to do her motherly duties and stuff. So I've been just bringing on different people that's part of the 810 family. Her and Yogi G got their show on Sundays at 7:00. Just a Thought. No, I was because Constance said she like, you know, giving you a shout out on the show. Said I like this.
Oh,
lady. I'm just telling her who y'all is. You know, I'm
just being honest.
That's from DC.
This is how I really feel. This is how I really, truly feel.
I
try not to do it on Sunday. I try not to do it on Sunday, but it's hard.
No, you have. I mean, no, because when you seeing like some of the stuff coming on, because I get it, but see, a lot of people won't look at. See, to me, I think what the problem is how we see rules and how they're being applied. Like how we seeing they bringing the National Guard into the inner cities, but let's be honest, in white areas they had the same problems, killings and everything too. But as you gonna bring them in their areas where it's bad at, but see the difference is they underreport in their areas and they overreport crime, and I'm not saying some in areas it is rough. Now let's just be honest. Some areas it is rough. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But if we get the right people in there, we could be better. Like they Sheila, you ain't never late. You on time. They like I said, but they destroyed our organizations who wanted to help. Look how they still get a Nation of Islam a bad rap. We got blacks sit up here, they'll go back, how they try to, do them. Well, he did this to Malcolm X. But y'all try to hold a nation, but y'all ain't holding the America what they did to blacks. And y'all don't even know if y'all got the truth on what with now. But that's still the image they'll hold. That you know what I'm saying? Even with MLK. They'll talk good about him behind, they love to talk about I have a dream speech. Show me the one when he talk about, I think I integrated my people into a burning house. See, they ain't gonna talk about that, Martin Luther King. They talk about the one that, you know what I'm saying, the get along, go along one. But see, that's what we got now. We got more to get along and go ones now. So that's why the youth, you saying they out their mind. But we think they out their mind. This ain't got time to be playing these games with us. You telling them, you telling them you got to pray to God. They're gonna tell you, well, show me God, because I need to eat right now. You tell when you gonna go to heaven. No, they want theirs while they living, not why I gotta die to go get happiness. Oh, facts. I said the racism in the North has some manners, but they will smile in your face and knife you in the back. East Coast is busy, so they tell you they don't like your people. Hey, I'd rather know who you is than we just sit up in each other's face smiling. I'd rather know how you. I don't have no problem. I ain't gonna be over here dealing with you. That's just my sit over there and do it. No, but they never gonna do that. They gonna always keep history tied down. They gonna want to give you your Al Sharptons, your Ben Crump, your what's my man down in Atlanta, but he's from Baltimore, Jamal Bryant. So they give us all these people that they just look. All you have to do is go watch the news and see who mainstream media floating around.
But I got a question for you, Mickey. It's for some reason, I don't know why StreamYard keeps kicking me out. I must not be saying what StreamYard wants to say. I'm gonna say this real quick. Okay, I hear you say Jamal Bryant, Al Sharpton, Ben Crump. But who is, like I told you that movie I watched, one battle after whatever. And I said go watch that movie. But who really out here wants to be a martyr? Who wants to get shot? Do we have Malcolm X people anymore? Do we have those people, or do we have people that just want to sit here and just talk?
No,
I mean, I know we have some people that would stand out, but we're living in a time where that's what I was saying earlier. People are doing the bare minimum of right but at the same time they're in survival mode.
No, because
so they're not going to step out there.
They highlight to see what it is. We even in Flint, I say this, they highlight the sellouts. And I'm just
I mean,
even with the mayor, them they highlight the sellouts because they're not gonna go get people that'll call them out. See, the truth tellers, they get pushed out even by their own. Let's just be honest, even by their own, they get pushed out. Like, don't get it twisted. I have people who reach out to me, not just because when they come over here, because I know a lot of people will say, well, Brother Robert, but I know when he do come over here, I know certain things over here you ain't rocking the boat. Because we're not friends with a lot of people. So I know certain things he can't do over there because he in an organization that they not going to really want to rock the boat like that. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm just being honest. So I know when certain people come because they can't rock, because they still got, they them people over there. Can one mess it up for all of them? Yep. When they don't, you know what I'm saying? When you got these programs. See, a lot of times we don't want to be honest. It's people in these groups who do want to talk out, but they be overshadowed because over the bigger thing. Like, listen, man, we a nonprofit. We got to get this money. You might have this attitude, but they don't have that same attitude because you got some who say you got to respect the mayor office, regardless of the BS that's going on. It's just that's how blacks. It's everybody like that. But see, deep down, what's their agenda? Everybody want to be fondness and closeness to the devil because you know what you're going to get. If it came out, you had to tell, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of stuff you be seeing going, why you think we get some stuff to get put out there? People want to come through us and put it out because they know they can't. And they know it's way more other people. But they like, at least we know over there, they're going to go and put it out, fuck it, regardless how they look at it. They're going to put their spin on it. They're going to put it out there. They know other people going to hold it down. Like, no, I don't want to step on no toes. See, because they getting paid. That's why you seeing a lot of people not speaking out. It's so much shit going on in Flint. Don't you know, all our activists would be tired from all the stuff that's going on. Mm-hmm. And you don't think the people who running this thing don't know they can buy these people off at the drop of a dime?
I think we need to have more town halls, but we need to have, I think we need to have more town hall and broadcast it. And when you speak facts, but of course you still have to be, it's unfortunate that you still have to be protective of what you say. Because if you're connected to a certain job or a certain, place you're connected to, because the thing I always say, I am speaking as honor. I'm not speaking as behalf of a government employee or behalf of whatever. Mm-hmm. Like when I worked for Google, it was certain things I could not do. You know what I mean? It's the same thing like when you represent. But I'm just saying we have to get to a place like grassroots. We need to start looking at the people in our community and building from that. But I also feel like we need to go from state to state to state. So like on 810, you got people from how many states you got on? You got Tennessee, you got New Orleans, you got California, you got North Carolina people on here, you got people New Jersey,
Seattle,
New York,
Las Vegas, Hawaii,
California,
Canada,
you got
New
Texas,
York,
you got
Jersey,
you got all those
South and North, Tennessee,
and that's Chicago, what I like because that is a view from different places. Yeah. So when you're writing your comment is powerful. Your comment is just not to just be putting it there. I know that when we write a comment, it's how we feel at that time when someone's saying something. So you need more platforms that are not just showing you can put the news for your area, and some people were attracted to what's going, but you still need people from other states to listen what's going on in your area. And of course, give news outside of that area because it's going to open the eyes of people that don't think shit's not going on, Mickey. Because a lot of people out here think that shit ain't happening.
Because they got them fooled. I tell you, they lull you to sleep. But see, the blacks been lulled to sleep through the Democrats. Now, I just want to do the whites understand, poor whites, like how y'all being lulled to sleep through the Republicans now. Because I don't think they understood that. That's why you see the farmers going through what they're going through. Now you see MTG want to come out because it's starting to affect their bottom line. And I said this before we get off. I don't want to deal with nobody that'll mess me over to get at you. Like if you know what I'm saying. Say a person's so mad at you that they got to mess me over to get at you. And I feel like that's what, you know what I'm saying? If you gonna go that mad, you got to get at this person that you would mess me over. We in for, you know what I'm saying? We in for a long haul. Anything you got to say before I close out? Peace. See y'all tomorrow, family, because there ain't nothing on today. Peace, peace, peace.